We're changing gears here. We're going to look at the tight end position. I'm going with Hunter Henry on the LA Chargers. I can't believe that Hunter Henry
Wow.
is still going as the tight end 7 in drafts. He's actually been available in a lot of mock drafts pretty late when I'm trying to punt the tight end position, and I still find myself avoiding Hunter Henry. He finished as the tight end 8 last season, and the situation got way worse for the Chargers and for Hunter Henry. But yet now he's tight end 7 in ADP. So he literally goes from Phillip Rivers and 591 pass attempts in this offense last season to Tyrod Taylor, whose career high in pass attempts for a season is 436. So,
Sheesh.
yes, Justin Herbert is there. We don't really know how this quarterback situation is going to break out. I'm guessing it's going to be some sort of hybrid between starts from Tyrod and Justin Herbert throughout the season. But if Tyrod Taylor's the starter and he's only throwing the ball 20, 25 times a game, there's just not a lot of upside for Hunter Henry. It's going to be a lower volume offense as a whole. The touchdown upside is going to come down. And they still have Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams to get the ball to. So I think personally the best thing that could happen for Hunter Henry in fantasy is Justin Herbert getting the reins of this offense early and them saying, hey, you got a strong arm, get out there, sling the ball, learn from your mistakes. And they kind of use this year as a wash just to throw Justin Herbert in there to learn, and maybe he'll accelerate a little bit faster. So even if Herbert's not efficient and good for the Chargers, I think from a volume perspective and a willingness to throw the ball down the field, maybe they're trailing in games and he's just coming from behind. That could maybe be the best thing to happen to Hunter Henry, because with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback, I just don't really see the upside there. And there are so many guys in drafts I like way better than Hunter Henry. Like right now, Tyler Higbee, Hayden Hurst, Austin Hooper, all of these guys are going later than Hunter Henry, and I'll take all of them over him in a heartbeat. Honestly, with a guy like Higbee, maybe even Hayden Hurst, I think by the time the season starts, their ADP is probably going to jump ahead of Hunter Henry. Those guys seem like they're picking up a lot of hype and a lot of steam right now. I hope not, because as you guys know, I love Tyler Higbee and Hayden Hurst, and I want to get them in a lot of places. But I just can't get in on Hunter Henry, and if I'm gonna take Henry, even if he falls to a value, I would still much rather wait and really punt the tight end position all the way to the end of drafts and end up with a player like Jack Doyle, Blake Jarwin, TJ Hawkinson, one of these guys with, maybe Doyle doesn't have the upside, but I think Jarwin and Hawkinson sure do. And Doyle gives me, I think, just as good of a chance to put in a top 12 performance as Hunter Henry this year. So, on top of that, I'll say one more thing about Hunter Henry. He has dealt with injuries throughout his career. He's missed 23 games in just 4 NFL seasons, so he can't seem to stay on the field. And look, if Henry can stay healthy for the full season, I think he's a top 10 tight end for sure. But I don't see the upside being there. I see a lot of other names there I like a lot more. So that's why I'm fading Hunter Henry.
Yeah, the thing that when we get into real drafts, you're there. It's a Saturday afternoon. You're 2.5 hours into a draft, and Hunter Henry's sitting there on the board with look at like Evan Ingram, who typically falls too. These are these like kind of upside plays, but injury risk tight ends. And just at my tight end position, I don't need that. I want more of that upside plus consistency that a Hurst can give me, that even a Jared Cook can get me, that I can wait a few rounds and continue to build up the running back and wide receiver depth. Though I will say Henry is going to fall in a lot of drafts. Do you have anything in mind, Alex? If you see him in a certain round, are you going to pull the trigger on him, or are you just fully fading him for other options regardless?
Man, no. I think because there's so much value at the position, I haven't drafted him one time. Like if Hunter Henry's there in the 12th round and I'm deciding between Henry or a Doyle, Jarwin, or Hawkinson, I'll probably go ahead and take Hunter Henry. But even a guy like Austin Hooper, he's falling. I've gotten Austin Hooper in the 12th, 13th round, and I like the upside on Hooper more than Hunter Henry this season. So it's tough because I think Henry can be a value, but there's just so much value there. I've found it really hard to pull the trigger on drafting Henry.